All right, everybody, we are live. Appreciate everybody joining us in. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Wednesday webinar. Once again, we are going to talk about subdividing, walk you through some strategy for building lists, a lot of different things going into this. Excited to talk about it. Let's get a question of the day here in the chat. Hey, Zoreen. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Welcome, everybody. Text messages come through. All right, people are funneling in here now. Brian, how you doing? Hey, Natalie. Priscilla, how we doing? As you guys are coming in here, let's get a question of the day. Okay. Hey, Ruben. Talking about subdividing today. Really excited to talk about this. Some huge stuff. Potential for some really big deals. Love this stuff. Let's go question of the day. Let me get one in here for you guys. All right. We are getting pretty close to the second half of the year, like quarter ends, I guess second half. We're halfway through the year next week. Question of the day, what are your second half of the year goals in land flipping? If it's just to learn, I mean, whatever it is, everyone has some kind of goal. Maybe it's nothing. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm just here to learn. I'm just here to talk, whatever it is. Yeah, appreciate everybody being here. Excited to talk about this topic today. Question of the day. Let's get a lot of answers in here. Question of the day. What are your second half of the year goals in land flipping? It can be a deal amount. It can be an education. It can be a profit amount, whatever it is. One deal a quarter, Natalie. I really want to see, we got almost 100 people in here. Want to see everybody's goals, where you guys are, what your goals are for the second half of the year. I think we can talk about setting goals. I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions in terms of setting goals. Some people do it religiously. Some people don't do it at all. Some people kind of half-ass it. We will get here. I see the questions coming in. Get through education in one deal, get through texting campaigns, get my first deal through cold calling. Love it. First deal, a lot of first deals. As you guys are coming in, guys, I am going to give it a few minutes before we get started because this is going to be a lot of different stuff we go over today. So I want to make sure people don't miss it. As you guys are coming in, answer that question of the day. Really want to hear this. Like, we are, next week will be July. There'll be July next week. That's halfway through the year. Halfway to 2026, I guess, if you look at it like that. What are your second half of the year goals in land flipping? $150,000. Keep on studying, Thomas. Learn how to buy land. Do a subdivide. Love it, Bill. We are going to get started here in a minute. If you guys have questions, after you guys answer that initial question of the day, if you guys have any questions you want me to go over today, I have saved a couple. I just want to make sure I will answer any questions throughout this call. I see Phoenix's questions, see if I miss anything else. But yeah, appreciate everybody being in here tonight. Some good stuff with subdividing. Subdividing is a way to make a yearly income on one deal. We've had subdivides where we've made $400,000. I don't want to say there's no barrier to it. Like there are some education, learning how to do it. But that being said, subdividing is something I see it every week with our members. I just, so many people are making so much money doing subdivide deals. And it's not that we're doing one right now where it's like buy for 150, sell for like 350. It's just you can get a lot of bigger deals in it. You can really do it anywhere in the country, which is really cool. What'd you do first half, Philip? Consistent marketing every month, Jonica. That's a really good one because the way I look at goals, and everyone's different, obviously. Goals are like you have inputs which are controllable. Like you can't really control exactly how much money you're gonna make. Like there's gonna be outlier things, but like Jonica's goal, like consistent marketing every month, that is something like if you don't do that, that's 100% on you. There's no one else to blame. I love having profit goals as much. Philip said he made 130 in the first half and realize 130 profit, and he's looking to do the same thing. Anyone run a business just off subdivides? If that's a question for me, Philip, there's a ton of people like this. Philip said this, and it's probably for the people in here as well as me, I guess. But there's quite a few people who are assigning deals that aren't subdivides, and they are 90% of their deals are subdivides profit or subdivides. We're not, our business isn't strictly like that. We do a lot of subdivides and that's a high portion of our profit. But that being said, 99% of our deals are only big deals now, which are above 6 figures. All right, let's get rolling here, guys. Got a lot of stuff to go over. As we go through, if you have questions, please let me know. I will answer as many as I can throughout here. I'm going to zoom in quite a bit on this. The first thing when we're talking about subdividing, so subdividing, guys, at scale, or not even at scale, subdividing is taking a big parcel, splitting it up into smaller parcels. So you take 50 acres, you break it up into 5, 10-acre parcels, you sell those off individually, and you can maximize profit with that. What I want to talk about here is the first thing about subdividing is, and I'm going to zoom in here for you guys. Tell me if it is okay. Where's the zoom, guys? Oh, there it is. All right, I'm going pretty far. All right, so subdividing. So the first thing is choosing a county. So how do we choose a county? You can do this online, and I'm gonna actually show you how to do this. Choosing a county. What we are looking for is minor subdivide regulations, essentially. So this is basically, when I talk about minor subdivide regulations, it is okay, asking a county like, what can I do with 50 acres? Where it's not a major subdivision. If you go in your neighborhoods, the suburban neighborhoods, all these little tiny quarter-acre lots, those are what we call major subdivisions. Minor subdivides is taking 50 acres into 5, 10-acre lots. Sometimes you can do more than that for sure, but questions to ask counties. So you're going to call counties. You're essentially going to get questions asked. So we want to find out, like, what are your minor subdivide regulations? But questions in here that you want to be asking are, one, like you want to say like that it's going to be like, to keep it a minor subdivide, how many parcels can I split a lot into? How small can I make the parcels? So this is okay. So the first question is, okay, you have 50 acres. What you're asking them is like, okay, I have this 50-acre parcel. I'm really interested in subdividing it. That being said, I don't want a major subdivision. I just want a simple approval, whether it's just a survey, something like that. And you're asking like, okay, I have this 50-acre property. How many lots can I split this into? Where it's not a major subdivision, where it's just simple approval process. And then also, how small can I make each parcel? Some people are going to say like, yeah, it's a minor subdivide as long as you keep it over 10 acres. Some people are going to be like, if you can go all the way down to 2 acres and you can make a ton of lots with it. Is there a minimum? Actually, first off, does every parcel, can you guys see okay, need road frontage? So this is basically saying, I mean, it's saying what it's saying. Does every parcel need road frontage? It's not like a lot of times you're going to subdivide and not give road frontage. But if road frontage is not needed, and I'm going to pull up the land portal so we can zoom in on some things. Let's see if I can find a property. We'll just keep it simple for now, guys. Let's go right here. I know that's not a great idea. Okay, let's go just a very simple property like this. So this property right here. So if road frontage isn't needed, like you might be able to put a road down the middle, like put a dirt path or something like that and subdivide off of it. So that's why that question's important. 99% of the time, they're going to say yes. Every parcel needs to have road frontage. If yes, is there a minimum amount of road frontage needed? All right. So basically here okay, does every parcel need road frontage? Yes, it needs road frontage. Okay, you said yes, it needs road frontage. Is there a minimum amount that each parcel needs? A lot of counties are going to be like 100 feet of road frontage, something like that. Let me think real fast. Are there any restrictions? This is a weird one that I ran into. Are there any restrictions that I need to know when subdividing? And this, what I mean by this is, yeah, there's different areas, Philip. I've seen a lot actually. Yeah, rural Arkansas was one. It's just county by county, to be 100% honest. Texas, Texas is pretty strict as far as the type of roads you need if you do that, and then it turns into, it's not necessarily a major, but they're very strict as far as like, okay, you need a certain type of road, a certain type of gravel, all this. If you can find areas, guys, where you don't need road frontage, you can do a lot and you can make a lot of money in those areas. Are there restrictions that I need to know when subdividing? This is obviously up here. These are restrictions. But what I'm saying here, we had an area in Mississippi, and it was a county that was somewhat close to Memphis. And we found out we were about to subdivide. It was 70 acres, 72 acres or something. We were going to subdivide it into like 5-acre parcels. We had like 5,000 feet of road frontage. And then we talked to them and they're like, yeah, if you go under 10 acres, you cannot put mobile homes on the lot. The end buyer can't put mobile homes. And we're in somewhat rural Mississippi. I'm like, yeah, let's not go under 10 acres. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this one. Let me think if there's anything else you want to ask them. Like, and are there any restrictions that I need to know? Building restrictions. Let's put building restrictions. And then the last question I always ask, is there is there anything else I need to know about doing a minor? K. David said almost every county I've researched has all their zoning and subdivision regulations on their website. I mean, I'll pick up a random one. Let's just pull Macon County, Georgia. And this is how you research it. Yeah, I always suggest researching online first. That's a really good point, K. David. But that being said, if you're rural, I'm not saying it's not going to be here. Macon County, Georgia, minor subdivision regulations. And I always call to confirm no matter what. Macon County subdivision ordinance. So yeah, I mean, you are going to find stuff on here. Let me zoom in a little bit on this. So when you find stuff like this, you can get a ton of information. Let me pull your thing off here. I'm just kind of looking through here. Let's go down. For the purpose of this ordinance, subdivision means all divisions of a tract or parcel land into 2 or more lots. Okay, so this is not defining into minor or major. I'm actually going to control F and do minor. Procedure for review of minor subdivisions. Okay, right here. So we're going to find that. Oh, it was actually pretty close. Where'd that go? Let's just keep going. A minor subdivision is defined as a subdivision containing no more than 8 lots which have not been subdivided within the previous year and does not require a new road exceeding. This is actually one, but this is probably going to be not a dirt road in terms of that. But this is information for sure. We want to see if we can get more information. Like, okay, there's probably something else that goes along this. And sometimes it's not even about because sometimes there is a little bit of an approval process and you might just want to ask them like, okay, excuse me, the minimum size of open space required, open space. No, that's not it. But sometimes you want to call and just confirm things, obviously. So here's a procedure for review. Sometimes if you call the county too, they're going to understand what gets approved, what doesn't get approved. But you can search through something like this, sketch vicinity map north. So this is basically a plat, tax map, total acreage. Yeah, so something like this, there's not a ton of information on this. It says no more than 8 lots. That's one information that we got, which is really, really good information. But we don't have much more beyond that. I would definitely suggest calling a county like this to confirm. I think talking to someone is always good in the zoning department. So when you do call them, I don't know if there's going to be a phone number up here, but when you do call them, you want to talk to them in the zoning department typically. But what we're going to do here, guys, so we're going to go to Macon County, Georgia, and I just want to show you how to pull data for this. It's really important. There's a lot of different things on the land portal that you can do for pulling lists like this. Let me go through, see if there's any other questions in here. When you say you can make a lot of money if you don't have road frontage requirements, is that because of how much landlocked property is out there? No, it's because like that property that I had up, Natalie, we're not making landlocked property. So what you would do, let's just pull up that doesn't have road frontage. It would be for properties with thinner amounts of road frontage, like let's say 300-400 feet of road frontage. I'm going to see if I can find any. We'll find one. Patience. Patience. Mm-hmm. All right, let's just say this, for example. Probably not a great one, but what I'm saying with that is where you can, I don't know if there's a way. Theoretically, you can put a road down the middle and then you put a dirt road even down the middle, and then you can subdivide off it on both sides. So this is areas where, and it's a lot of times it's cul-de-sac. You'll see it in areas. I've seen it in Georgia quite a bit. They might be deemed major in some areas for sure. But you can cut and then you do the same thing on the other side, and then you all of a sudden get a lot more parcels. Without doing something like this on a parcel like this, you can maybe split it 2 or 3 times. Another good question is, does your property face a state or county road giving approval for access? Yeah, exactly. And that's something that like, another good question is, does your property face a state or county road getting approved? Got it. That makes sense. All right, cool. All right, let's show how to pull a list here, guys. So I'm going to, and there's a free trial for the land portal in the description below, landportal.com/subscriptions. All right, let's get rolling here. So what we're going to do, let's go to search, and we are going to go to Georgia. Someone said, can we do Wisconsin? Let's do Macon. All right. The key with subdivisions, and we're not talking about sending mail out today. We're not talking about how we actually do the marketing. You want to be very aggressive with marketing. You do not need big lists to get deals. If I'm being very sniper approach, very targeted on my subdivides, I can get a deal 1 out of every like 500 contacts, honestly. Like if we understand the pricing, everything like that, you definitely, it doesn't have to be a high volume game with getting subdivide deals. All right, vacant lots. So we did Georgia. K. David said, actually, I'll get back to that, K. All right, so vacant lots. And now you have some choices here. So like, okay, how much acreage do you want to do? With what we saw so far with the subdivide regulations in Macon County, Georgia, all it said was don't do more than 8 lots. It didn't really say anything about amount of road frontage. I'm sure you're going to need road frontage. It didn't say anything about the minimum. So we would definitely have to call to get more information. But what we're going to do here, we're going to go, we can split it 8 times. Let's go 16. And that's just like you split it 8 times, you get 8 2-acre lots. Let's go 16 to 50. All right, we're going to do 16 to 50 right now. MLS, do we want to keep MLS listings for sale? I'm just going to exclude those. So these are any properties that are on the MLS, exclude sold listings in the last 36 months. You really don't have to do this, to be honest with you, because you can get good deals on the MLS. You can get good deals of people who bought a property and maybe got a good deal 3 years ago, and then you all of a sudden offer them more money and they're making money. But that being said, let's exclude that for now. Out of state owner, out of county owner, I'm not going to worry about that. Buildability total, I'm going to go back to that. Landlocked, so we're going to say it's not landlocked. So that means we want the property to have road frontage, and then the amount of road frontage, I'm just going to go 1,000 plus. So we're saying we're going to hit apply right here, and I'm going to show you guys. So it's only 90 properties here. And this is why you might have to do multiple counties at once. If you're marketing, we can go above 50 acres for sure. But if we go into these properties, what you'll see is the quality of the properties. So you click in here, this one, it's got double-sided road frontage. So you could do something really creative with this parcel, subdividing on this side and this side, a really good opportunity there. And you just go through each part. You don't actually do this, but you can go through the parcels and see the quality of land. We're going to add a couple more filters on here. We're going to go to FEMA, and we're just going to do maximum percentage is 50, and we're going to do same, we're going to go 30 for wetlands. So this is the amount of wetlands that we can have, the percentage of the land in wetlands, and FEMA 50 and 30 respectively. 1,000 feet of road frontage. Buildability total. So buildability, and if I let's just pull up this property real fast so I can show you exactly what this is. So if you scroll down here on the land portal, you see the acreage. Then you'll see the buildability total up here. And this is basically, I mean, this is a really flat piece of land. You hit show buildability, you're going to see all the spots that are buildable on it. And this is basically an AI slope report that we created in-house that is basically deeming those areas buildable. You do want a good amount of area buildable. 75 is not too much, obviously. It's just a high number. We don't need that much. I'm trying to think, does anyone have a suggestion for this as far as buildability percentage for this acreage range? You want to think, like when you're subdividing, you need a lot more of the land to be buildable. Like if we hit 50, I think we're going to lose too much of the properties. I don't think 50's, I think 50 is too much, to be honest with you. We only lost 13 properties there. I'm going to go down to 30. Yeah, we lost 11 properties. So those other 11 are probably pretty sloped. Let me get to these questions before we keep on moving on. We'll finish this list out. This is going to be a small list, guys. This is only going to be 100 leads. There's going to be a very, very targeted leads for subdivides, though. Let me just pull up the questions that I had. Where are those? Do you do any joint ventures with subdividing? Yeah, we fund a lot of subdividing deals. How many subdivides do you find off market versus MLS? For us, we do 95% off market. But you can find deals on the MLS, and you can search those on the land portal as far as search MLS deals with a certain amount of road frontage. Yeah, this is a really good comment by Philip here. Like, it does matter. It does matter where your buildability is. So it's not like there's other things we can add in the future for sure. So you know a little bit more. But that being said, like, yeah, it definitely does matter as far as where the buildability is, because you obviously want it to be on the road or at least closer to the road. That's a really good point, Philip. Hey, I love your software, but I noticed when I went back to your website, your price doubled. Yeah, I mean, we've been adding and putting so much. We've been investing so much into improvements. Like the software that you had at whatever price you had it at a few months ago, unfortunately, just isn't the same software in terms of all the improvements that we've added. And that's why we did decide a few weeks ago to raise the price on it. Let's keep rolling through here, guys. So now we have this list. So we're going to do here, really, we have a quality list. It's only 80 leads. You do want to make this bigger. And what you can do pretty easily on here, if you want to add, I know the counties around here pretty well. So Crawford County, Georgia is right around there. Obviously, you want to do your research on the regulations, but we can add a few more counties here. Houston County, Georgia. That's probably not a great one for this, to be honest with you. Let's add Twiggs, which is right there. And I just know this area pretty well. We'll do Houston. I don't think that's a great one. Let's do Bibbs. You just received the text, Kim? That's not good. Let's do Bibb. Let's see what we get here, guys. We should get a lot more. We're going to have a real list. Obviously, you want to go through these counties. Still only 276. What we can do also is raise this to like 100 acres. Now we're going to see our list jump up. Like, okay, now this is a really interesting list. You can see all around here. I'm not sure what county this is, honestly. This is Peach. This is Houston. But you can see you are targeting only good land in these areas, essentially. And now we all of a sudden have a list that we can export. And you can remove duplicates here. And I'm going to actually pull up the data once you get off. If you want to skip trace this, I'm not going to do that here. If you want to get phone numbers on here, you want to text them, all this stuff. But essentially, this is how you do it. But let me hit confirm. So we're going to hit confirm. We'll pull up the list here in a minute. Let me pull this off. Any questions you guys have? So basically with subdividing, let's kind of go through the steps here, guys. Basically with subdividing, the first step is going to be, okay, you need to choose some areas. So you choose areas that you want to do it, and then you actually need to look through counties, find out regulations in those areas, and see if they fit. That's a really big part. Like you want to make sure the regulations are somewhat lenient so you can do deals. And you don't just get deals under contract and then they get blocked and they can't subdivide or whatever the problem is. You don't want to send out marketing, spend money on mail, spend money on cold calling or time on cold calling, texting, all these things. You don't want to spend time, money on those things and then get deals back and then like, oh my goodness, I can't even subdivide that. But let's pull up this list, put questions in the chat. K David, I see that request. And if you guys are in our Discord, we added a land portal section of our Discord for suggestions, stuff like that. Hopefully you guys are in there. If you're not, landinvestingonline.com/Discord. All right, let me pull up this list real fast. We're going to go through here. I'm just going to show a couple key points on here. Then we'll get out of there. Get out of here. If you guys haven't already, there's a free trial of the land portal in the description. Is this zoomed enough? Let me go a little more. Let's go 175. All right, we're gonna go 175. Hopefully you guys can see there. So as we scroll through here, I'm gonna actually sort this by, we're gonna sort this by the acreage. Sort by the acres. All right. That's fine. All right, so you can see we started at 16 acres, went up. So some key points that you're going to see as you go through here. One is a hyperlink. This is a link that is shareable to anyone. So if you don't have the land portal right now, I just put that link in the description. Like anyone can open this up. So these hyperlinks, you want 200 zoom? So these hyperlinks, if you're logged in, if you're not logged in, like those hyperlinks work. Those are really good for putting in your CRM when you send out marketing, anything like that. So you'll see the hyperlink here. You're going to also see road frontage here. This is very important. This helps know you like how much road frontage I have. So let's actually control this. I'm going to control X this, and we're going to put this in right by acreage. So, okay, I'm very curious. We have lot acres, and then we have road frontage side by side. This has 4,000 feet of road frontage. with only 16 acres. I'm going to keep scrolling through. I'm going to actually go to the last line item, which is the TLP estimate that you will see. Make sure that's in here. Should be in this county, right? A lot of information, obviously. Go through if you guys want to see what we have. TLP estimate. This is an estimate of the price based on location, based on quite a few things. This is always good to have in the front. So when you're making offers, when you're talking to sellers, however you're reaching out to sellers, this is a good starting point. This is what we think, or the land portal thinks, is the market value for the land. So if we pull it up, let's just pull up a random property real fast. I'm actually bring this to the front as well. I gotta hop to my other meeting in a minute. All right, let's just pull up this one. So this is 16.38 acres, and you can see how much they differ. 16 acres for 149, 16 acres for 75. The reason being, and I'm curious what this one is. Glad you like it, Oscar. So you can literally type any or put any of these URLs into here and pull it up. And you all of a sudden see exactly how good of a property. So much road frontage on here. Just really, really good properties to offer. Obviously, they own this land behind here as well. But yeah, you can click any hyperlinks on there. 1031 exchange partner. Do you work with 1031 exchange partnering? What do you mean by that, Manuel? TLP estimate. Is it coming from the assessor? No, TLP estimate is all based on, so if you go to comp reports, TLP estimate is all based on comps. So we have all the comps within the land portal. There's an AI algorithm for each area where it's trying to determine properties. You can see a property here, for example, that I ran the AI comp report at some point. $28,000 is what it's estimating. And then you can actually see the comps. Like, why is it estimating this? This is from this. It has zero to do with what the county is telling us. All right, guys, I got to hop out of here. I got to hop in our members call. If you guys need anything, let us know. Appreciate everyone being in here. If you guys haven't already, there's a free trial of the land portal. Try it out. See what your thoughts are. Give us feedback. We appreciate it. Other than that, have a really good